Another executive order and another round of sanctions against Iran after it shot down a US drone it said was in its airspace last Thursday.
These measures represent a strong and proportionate response to Iran's increasingly provocative actions. We will continue to increase pressure on Tehran until the regime abandons its dangerous activities and its aspirations.
Beyond the drone shootdown, Washington said the sanctions, financial in nature, were already on the cards. Apparently a means to push Tehran back to the negotiating table after the US pulled out of the international deal designed to curtail Iran's nuclear activities 2 years ago.
We have sanctions against bad behavior, and there's no question that locking this money up worked last time, and there's no question locking the money up works now.
This time, Washington has targeted Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, along with 8 senior commanders in the Iranian Navy, aerospace and ground forces of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps. The sanctions block their access to any financial assets within US jurisdiction, with Foreign Minister Javad Zarif set to be targeted later in the week. Shortly after Trump signed the sanctions, he blamed hawkish US politicians for despising diplomacy and thirsting for war. Iran, for its part, says it won't negotiate while it's being threatened.
You cannot start a dialogue with somebody who is threatening you, who is intimidating you. How can we start a dialogue with somebody whose primary preoccupation is to put more sanctions on Iran?
It all comes as the US's Secretary of State toured the Middle East, building support for an international coalition to face off against what Washington calls the military threat from Iran. While both Saudi Arabia and the UAE favor a hard line, there's already resistance from other quarters, in particular from Western Europe.